just on this area, so it's got me convinced that I'm the only person on the planet that can see where the moon is reflecting off the ocean. Because why is it all that lit up? If my point of view was from over here, I should still be able to see all this lit up.
He's right. Why is the moon only shining on one part of the ocean? It's supposed to light up that whole area. Something is going on with the moon, guys, and I would not know because I'm on concrete. So many things going on, guys. So many. Something is going on with everything at this point. Even the moon. It's supposed to reflect off all the water in that area, not just one straight line. So the question is, what is going on with the moon? And people had the nerve to say it's not a real moon. What are you talking about? There's only one moon. Every moon you see in the sky, I mean, the moon you see in the sky, it's real, bro, for real. Not just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. I don't know what that guy's talking about. Maybe that was AI. He keeps paying attention to things he shouldn't be worried about. He should be in his house watching TV and enjoying his night. I don't know what's going on with the moon. I don't know what's going on with the stars in the sky. Let me know what you think. I'm out.
I can see all of it from here. The sun to one side, the moon to the other, and that curved cloud line over everything. There's a bright line behind the wall. It looks like the sun is circling outside the horizon itself, which Trevor might be mad.
So this guy decided to take his camera and then take a picture of the sun at the exact same time every single day for 3 years. And this is what happened. It created something called the solar analemma, where let's say you go outside at high noon, every single day, high noon in your relative location. The sun will be in a slightly different position in the sky because it is slowly traversing between the tropics and the equator. And this is how you have the seasons. This is why it's currently winter here in Bali, because the sun is in the Tropic of Cancer. It is not over the Tropic of Capricorn. And we are being told that the Earth is moving around the sun at 66,000 miles per hour, and its fashion of orbit is actually insane. It's not even predictable. And this tiny little wobble right here is what is causing the seasons and what is causing the sun to appear to traverse in the sky and in between the tropics and the equator. But if the sun is 93 million miles away, do you really think that tiny little deviation, that tiny little wobble would cause the change in seasons? That makes no sense whatsoever. And all you have to do is actually look at the sun. It appears that it is very local, with light rays coming out of it at diverging angles, showing that it's a local light with clouds behind it and in front of it. But I made this video entirely for entertainment purposes only.
Alright, someone explain this to me. You see above us.
So if the Earth rotates around the sun once a year, and in that one rotation, there are 365 little rotations, representing 1 day per little rotation, 365 days in a year. And 365 days divided by 28, you get a perfect 13-month year. Every month starting on a Monday, ending on a Sunday. And hold the phone, because you're telling me that September, sept meaning 7, is the 9th month. October, oct meaning 8, is the 10th month. November, nov meaning 9, is the 11th month. And December, this decagon, is 10. So that means January becomes the 11th, February the 12th, and March is the 13th, the last month of the year. And the beginning of the year would be the spring equinox, when everything begins to grow, renew, and life starts to flourish. Wouldn't it make more sense that that's when I realized something was off? And if time itself can be shifted, what else has been shifted without us noticing? You don't lose your life all at once. You lose it slowly, through routines you never chose and beliefs you never questioned. One night I couldn't sleep, no phone, no noise, just my thoughts. And I stumbled into a book called Book of Wisdom. Not looking for answers, just trying to understand myself. It wasn't telling me what to believe, it was showing me what I had stopped noticing. This isn't for everyone, Most people will scroll, some will feel uncomfortable, a few will feel something they can't explain. If this sounds crazy, good. I'm just leaving the door where I found it.
The moon is below the horizon by quite some way. Moon, horizon.
The other day, I made a video talking about the theory that our world may not be shaped or structured the way we've been taught growing up. I went over the three main theories people have in contrast to the heliocentric model, which is bigger Earth theory, flat Earth theory, and inner Earth theory. Many people in the comments brought up how we have satellites bringing us images from space, which should completely debunk any ideas or thoughts that we have of the Earth being shaped differently than what we've been told. However, after a little bit of research, you will find out that all of the satellite images we get are either digitally processed, edited, or both before it hits our eyes. Some people theorize that during this time of digital processing and editing, anything that is strange or beyond the norms would be edited out and removed before we can actually see it. Another question I saw quite a few people ask was, if there's actually other civilizations and continents that we don't know about, wouldn't we see evidence of that? But what if we did see evidence of it? I mean, for decades, we've had thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of reported UFO sightings, and we've kind of been fed this narrative that these are either top secret military projects or aliens from some distant galaxy. But what if, instead of these UFOs coming from somewhere in outer space that is millions of light years away, they're simply coming from lands and continents that we don't even know exist, but are far more advanced than we are here? Leave a like if you want me to go even deeper into all this.
Here's what I want you to understand. You see how this water separates? Two different oceans separate perfectly. And it's always there. Always there. In these different spots of the world, you will find this. These two bodies of water are perfectly divided in every single one of these spots. All over the world, always has been. Because density can't happen in liquid spinning 1,000 miles an hour. It has to be a solid liquid, still, stationary, in order for density to work. And this right here, here's your proof right here. Anytime you want to, you take a boat out here, you take a helicopter out here, and you can see it with your own eyes. I'm showing it to you guys right now. Check it out. Any time of the year, these two waters never mix together. This can only happen on a flat and stationary Earth.
Now, yo, look at this video clip. Now, this is Pikes Peak, Colorado. Now, just imagine you driving up this high mountain. You are about 14,000 feet in the air. You can see the clouds from below. Now, this is some kind of like scary movie type stuff. Like, look, my heart just jumped in my ass just from looking at the video. I could not do it. I cannot do it. Your girl talking about fighting Jeepers Creepers. Girl, look at the height on this mountain. Yo, just imagine you driving Pikes Peak with no guard railings. You at 14,000 feet in the air. Child. Now, that's something you will see on a scary movie. I could not do it. And then I go scroll in the comments, and of course, I seen the truck driver say, just imagine you driving it as a truck driver. Child. And another lady was in the comments saying she drove that same mountain at nighttime with no guard railings with kids. Now, as you can see, you get to a certain point where you will see the little railings, but child, that is some short railings. You have to pray while you on that cliff, because child, now don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful sight to see, but driving, no, I'll take the train. But even with the train, I'm scared. I'm scared just looking at the video. Y'all let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments, y'all. Bye.
And I won't go into too much detail, but he says, look, the sun's not going down. He says, you saw the sun come back up, right? I said, yeah. What's with that? He says, well, it's not going back down all night. You're going to see it off to the left side. It's going to come around off the nose, and by Honolulu tomorrow morning, it's going to be about 2 o'clock off the nose, and it'll be coming up. Really? What about the spin of the Earth? And the captain over there in the co-pilot seat, he looked at me and says, spin? He says, the Earth don't spin. You don't read your Bible? Now, that shut me up big time right there, because I hadn't read the Bible ever, okay? So I didn't know what it said. You know, don't you read your Bible. Okay, great. I got my work cut out for me. So we get to Honolulu, and, you know, the only thing that spun on me when we got to Honolulu was my head, because I saw the sun all night. It didn't go down. The Earth ain't spinning, and there's no curve. So I get out of the plane, and he says, oh, one more thing. He says, if the Earth is supposed to be round, like they say, okay, it's 8 inches per mile squared. That's the math on the curvature. Go find it. Look for it and go find it. The first thing I did was I got up the next day, and I went out to the North Shore, and I was looking for Kauai, because I'd seen it before. And there it is, Kauai, 108 miles away. It's 5,400 feet high, so it's above, well, first of all, it should be below, about 400 feet below the horizon, okay? And I could see all the way to the beach on Kauai from 108 miles away. And so now here I am. You know, I'm a bona fide flat earther, because I can't deny it. I can't deny it. And see, that's the problem with flat earthers. They go out and look, and now they come back, and they're surrounded by globe heads, and they get the horse's ass laughter. They get, you're a flat earther.
I need you to say that again.
I'm a member of the Flat Earth. You ready?
Ready? Oh.
I'm an American Airlines pilot. I'm a member of the Flat Earth Society.
God bless you, brother. Wow, the truth. I love it. Mwah.
How long have you been a pilot for?
43 years.
Wow. What shape is the planet?
Flat. You're the pilot?
Hi.
How long have you been flying for?
Like for Delta, 21 years, but maybe like 30 something.
I want to know, because they say the pilots know a lot. Do you think the Earth is flat or no?
I know it's flat.
You know it's flat?
The world is flat.
Confirmed.
Completely flat. Completely flat.
And ice wall? What's beyond the ice wall?
You get to that, and you go down, and then gravity works in a different direction. So when it rains, it doesn't fall on the floor. It falls.
Is there another world beyond the ice wall? Wow.
So you think that NASA's fake? Does that mean all the other space agencies are faking it too? Oh, you mean like China?
浪是白色的是云还是浪？哦，这里是王阳。
India just landed on the moon. Oh yeah, in a cartoon.
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल.
SpaceX has been to outer space too. They're private industry, not government. SpaceX? You mean fake X? Well, when NASA goes back to the moon, you won't be able to deny it anymore. Hope they pick up their guy. What guy? The guy who stayed behind to film them leaving the last time?
3, 2, 1, ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector good. Ag thought. Good over. Vector, you have good thrust. Okay, 30 seconds. 308 your number.
Why don't we see any land when we're looking down at the ocean from the space station?
Because you're over top of ocean.
Okay, well, don't you think they could be fooling us with this picture?
Okay, I give you this.
Wait, watch the picture.
I know that.
Watch
I know,
the picture.
I know
Watch
that they
the picture.
airbrushed some
It's
stuff.
not
up.
airbrushed. This is us in our front yard and a solar panel, and we tricked you, showing you how easy. We have zero budget. They have $65 million a day, and I tricked you. What about this? NASA says, you know, these are new planets. Okay? Would you believe? Why would you believe that?
Why wouldn't you?
Because they're frying pan through the bottom of front pan. Again, zero budget. Zero budget. Here are 4 moons. And before the hand picks up the moon, tell me, is it sphere or not a sphere? Is that a sphere? But yeah. It looks like a sphere, but it's actually a half a cup.
Whoops, I'll get it.
Sometimes. It looks like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still?
See the hair?
And we can totally see the hairspray that is quite obviously in your hair. Now keep your eyes right here. He obviously pulls on something, a wire harness, something. Oh my gosh, you guys, look how everything is floating. Look at that. Oh, except the water. Don't look at that. Larry, you're in the shot, Larry. Can you please no, don't put your coffee down.
My question is, how can you operate a lid on the outside of the space station by manipulating something mechanical on the inside of the space station without losing air pressure?
It's called real good engineering.
So a tortilla, a massive tortilla. Let me know when he figures it out.
Do you remember that video that China released of the Tianzhou 9 scraping upon the firmament? I mean, guys, it's so unbelievably obvious. They put it on mainstream television that the rockets don't actually go straight up. They always follow an arched trajectory. And then once they reach a certain level in the atmosphere, they tend to scrape something. I mean, this is in like every single rocket video ever. If you actually have a full video of it launching and then going up into the upper atmosphere. Now let's watch this one. This is probably like 37,000 feet in the air. I'm assuming he's in an aircraft. Well, look at that. It's starting to follow an arched trajectory. Man, I wonder why. Probably because no one can go past the Van Allen belts. And apparently there's 7 layers of the Van Allen belts. You know, like the 7 layers.
So this is a flight from, I think it was Germany to Brazil. So about a quarter of the way around the world. So if you're on a globe right here, and you're flying from here, right? So you're flying here, you're level, and you got to fly to here. You're now 90 degrees turned down, right? So here's a time lapse from a pilot, and we're looking at these stars, and they should be, they should be moving up. Like this star should be above him when he's through his trip, but it's not. It's just turning. This is what Google Earth said it should look like. The stars are all moving up as you're diving over the globe. So this is what the model says should happen as you dive down and away. But in reality, when you look at the actual footage, this is what happens. So that's weird.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird things that you discover all the time.
If there were a firmament that was getting lower to the ground as you went south beyond the Antarctic shoreline, planes would have to fly lower. That is something that would just make sense on the biblical Earth model. And when you look into what actually happens in Antarctica, you find out that, wait a minute, planes do actually fly lower. How much lower? Well, a lot lower. When you look at their elevation, it's around 11,000 feet in the Antarctic region. When you go to the Arctic, it should be exactly the same because they say we live on a globe and the south and the north are exactly the same. However, they're flying at 29,000 feet, far higher because they don't have to worry about a barrier. And it's not some barrier we're making up. There is footage of this barrier. We've shared it before. There are declassified documents that speak of it. The Encyclopedia Britannica talks about a dome-like structure being around 13,000 feet beyond the 80th south parallel. I used to think there could be another explanation for that. However, there might be some truth to those numbers given that they're flying that low in Antarctica. What do you guys think?
So here's our 4 undefeated proofs that the Earth is flat. First, ships can always see lighthouses, no matter how far they are. If the Earth were a sphere, this wouldn't be possible. The lighthouses should be under the curvature of the Earth and should not be visible, not even with binoculars. Second, the temperature difference between Antarctica and the equator is huge, although the distance between them relative to the Sun in the round Earth theory is minimal. The flat Earth theory shows this clearly, because the Sun rotates above the equator and it is hot there, and further from Antarctica and therefore cold there. Third, if the Earth were a sphere, airplanes would have to constantly adjust their angle, but they don't. This means that they would eventually fly into space. But this doesn't happen, which again shows that the Earth is flat. If the Earth was round, that means that if you're flying...
Understand what y'all looking at, man. It's the ice wall in Antarctica. And mind you, bro, you see that man right there? You see how small he is? You see how tiny he is compared to this fucking wall, man, that's up a fucking few hundred feet up high. And look how far down it stretch. Look how far down that is, man. That shit stretch on for fucking miles. And that's not even the water that's not even the bottom. It goes down a few thousand more motherfucking feet. Look how high up that shit is, man. That shit is higher than the highest fucking tower in the fucking world. Look how high that shit is, man. Look how thick that shit is. Look how far down it go. Look how high up that shit is, man. They gotta use that fucking crane to get on top of it.
Next time you see me, I'm gonna be on the other side of this thing.
Well, we're about 3,000 miles beyond Antarctica. Globe model says we should be wrapping back up around the Indian Ocean, but it's nowhere in sight. If we don't make it, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. Don't know where the hell we are. GPS system's no longer working. Apparently it doesn't know either. I'm seeing these kind of rock textured land masses that I've never seen before. This is just surreal, man. Been waiting for sunrise to get a landing somewhere, but been about 18 hours without light. Gonna have to land soon.
Gonna parachute down, check it out, make sure it's safe for landing. This place is utterly terrifying, and don't know if I'm hallucinating, but I think
the Antarctica Treaty. Dude, why is that in effect anyway?
We all agree upon that.
Yeah, again, we all agree that nobody can come here and do anything.
Because of the penguins and the ice.
Well, we just all agreed. We can't agree on shit, but we can agree on that. Why?
Yeah.
Why? It doesn't make sense.
So,
and what's crazy is, again, I can't believe nobody with means, no millionaires and billionaires, will get in a fucking plane and just prove flat earthers wrong once and for all by going direct. Like, don't turn, don't go east and west, go north and south, and keep going whether they let you or not. And if they don't let you, just film it all and make sure you're streaming so everyone can see the military stop your ass. Like, why are they stopping you?
Yeah.
Why? It's Antarctica. It's a bunch of fucking snow, supposedly.
Brad, you know,
why are they stopping you? Why can't you just not go there?
You know, radar, how radar works. Radar, you send a signal out, it line of sight, it bounces off something, and it gives you a reading, right? There's a thing called the the Samson radar system can see multiple baseball-sized objects moving at Mach 1 or 2 or whatever, super fast, faster than the speed of sound, at 1,000 miles away. At 1,000 miles away. It doesn't matter how high that radar system is, because at 1,000 miles away, there's 120 miles of curvature. 120 miles of curvature. So that would be a mountain 120 miles high, and you're seeing airplanes on the other side of that mountain? Absolute and total nonsense. One more thing before we wrap it up, I want to show you is Kansas. Pretty flat, right? We're told it's flat. Do you know how much curvature there is from one end of Kansas to the other? This is a picture from 120,000 feet. Super high. Airplanes fly at 30,000 feet. You go to 70,000 feet, you're in awe, right? Non-fisheye lens, 120,000 feet. Earth is flat. Kansas has more curvature than this height. This is 20 miles. Kansas has more curvature than this height. So from one end of Kansas to the other, there should be a mountain that goes this high in curvature. The reason you can't wrap your head around it is because it's stupid, Red. The globe is stupid, and it's so stupid that people say, I can't figure it out, and they defer their discernment to authority.
And the main reason they want us to be believing that we're hurling through space on these globes.
Separate us from God.
Nostradamus and polyathenine and fucking Aristotle.
Apollo, Artemis, pagan gods.
Yeah, all these old philosophers that figured out this earth is round. Do you think that was even true? Or they just said that that's what they thought?
It's all bullshit. All of it.
And it started around 1910.
Yep. You know, in the 1900s, you know, we talked about the old world a little bit last time. There was an advanced civilization here before something happened in the 17 or early 1800s. And, the textbooks talked about these buildings that were here that nobody knew where they came from. These cities that were here, nobody knew. But after 1910, all of that disappeared from school textbooks.
And dude, there's like places in the fucking Grand Canyon you can't go.
95% of it you can't go.
Yeah,
there's Egypt, like that's the real Egypt could be in there.
People have said.
Yeah.
Like it's again, I mean, like it's crazy, but I'm open-minded. And I ask everybody that listens to this show to shoot us a message to disprove Dave. Please. Because you'll get 300 grand basically in Bitcoin. You'll get 3 Bitcoin if you can prove the Earth's a globe. Go download his
FlatEarthDave.com, my app.
His app.
The app has an old world section. It has, you know, in 2014, the Globers would go, oh, good luck getting a job. No one's going to hire you. I now have a job board on there because guess what? We don't want to work with them and we don't want them working for us. So people are posting jobs and getting jobs, all within the community.
You're telling me that Germany isn't where we think it is?
Nothing's where you think it is.
Where is it?
I'm glad you asked.
And put it over here. And now you see, the United States is no longer in the middle of the map.
Right.
Now I did this with a major record company in New York City, I think in 1970. And an older man stood up in the back of the room and said, now Elliot, you've gone too far. I said, what's your problem? You can't do that with the map. I said, well, actually you can. He said, no, the United States isn't in the middle of the map anymore. I said, the United States never was in the middle of the map. You need to realize it depends on how you draw your map. And then I pointed this little fact out to him. South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
Even though it doesn't really look like it.
No, it is. South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
It's crazy.
Now, according to your social studies teachers, what is the equator? Halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole on this map would be right about here.
Right.
And that means that Iowa has a semi-tropical climate. The sizes on this map are right. The shapes are distorted. Look at Greenland on this map. Right there, see it?
Yeah, it's really tiny.
See how small that is?
Right.
Look at it on the Mercator projection.
So why do they do that? I don't understand.
Why? Because the Pope commissioned Mercator to make a map that shows the spread of Christianity. So all the countries in which there are predominantly white people are larger than those in the southern part of the world.
When the top of the map is given to the northern hemisphere and the bottom is given to the southern, then people will tend to adopt top and bottom attitudes.
But wait, where else could you put the northern hemisphere but on the top?
On the bottom.
How?
Like this.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
Why not?
Because it's freaking me out.
If you study the right knowledge, in actuality, the map of the earth is actually turned upside down. So the south is actually north. And people...
Everything that you see from space is animated. I got some homework for you. He goes, I want you to find a picture from space of the sun in the visible light spectrum. You find that for me, I'll tell you everything you want to know. Dude, for years I was looking for that photo. Years. Like, and by the way, just so people, they could frame this.
I never even thought about that. There are none.
There are none. And I literally...
You know why? I'll be the Glober. You can't point the camera at the sun in space because there's no air to filter it. You'll ruin the lens.
Right. Now, here's somebody that was AP physics, AP biology. Like, I thought I knew science, right? And, like, so every week I would go in, I try and find photos, and I was so flabbergasted. And I kept asking him, I was like, Mike, like, he's like, the second you find that picture from space in the visible light spectrum of the sun, I'll give you the goods. So after a year and a half, I was like, I can't find it. And then he dropped it on me. And it still took me till you. He dropped it on me. He goes, everything that you see from space is animated. Every single image you've ever seen is an animation.
Fake. That's fake.
And he goes, you know where my parking lot was, at JPL in Anaheim, California? Do you know where we parked? And by the way, I still didn't get it. He was telling me this in 2009. I was like, where? He's like, we parked in the Disney parking lot. JPL and Disney were right next to each other. For those of you that don't know, that's Jet Proportion Laboratories. Now they make all this, Parsons, he was this. Guys, it's all a spook show.
There's plenty of evidence that we do not live on a ball. Every single space footage is CGI simple because the Earth is flat. Share this with a friend, and if you're interested in knowing more, download the Flat Earth app or visit flatearthdave.com.
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.